Hello.
Hey, hi, good morning.
Good
How are you?
morning. How are you?
I'm great. Awesome. How are you?
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what are you doing early morning fiddling around with your mobile?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say, I was just reading through the World Summit which was held in Davos,
Right?
where Prime Minister visited, and world's top dignitaries also visited for
Correct.
the World Economic Forum.
Yeah. So I saw some videos already.
Correct.
So have you checked out?
Yeah, I was just going through that. I was just looking at some of the stuffs and the comments which was put up with by a lot of people across how Indian economy is growing altogether.
Right, right. That's so amazing. India is making a mark on world uh, global platform.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean to say the kind of Indian economy is picking up. It's quite incredible. It's mind blowing, and I think it's going to really make a big impact across the globe.
True.
And a lot of international companies are now looking India as the second biggest market after US.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, good to see that, a
Uh-huh.
country is growing and infrastructure and everything is growing. So, what do you think? Why India is growing?
Uh-huh.
And another thing is like for the young entrepreneurs who are just stepping up into new startups, what
Uh-huh.
are the opportunities and challenges which are there for
Uh-huh.
them to, take this thing forward? What do you think?
I mean to say it's quite an interesting time altogether. If you look at compared to 5 years or 7 years back,
Correct.
with the pop-up of entrepreneurs, startups, a lot of things are changing altogether. More and more people are getting into entrepreneurship, startup, and so lot of scope, lot of opportunities, a lot of you know scope to excel and grow altogether. And there are few challenges, but yeah, I think if you look at the kind of time right now, as of right now, if you compare Indian economy compared to last 7-8 years,
Correct.
it has been picking up altogether. It is climbing ladder every year. Okay,
Correct.
so if you look at the statistics, basically, which was posted in Economic Times, so in 2010, the position of Indian economy in terms of real-time dollars, it was almost like in the 10th position.
Correct.
From then 11, 12, it came to 9th, then 8th. From 2015 onwards, it has picked up,
Yeah.
and it is climbing,
Yeah.
and it is moving up altogether in an ascending order.
Yeah. It's
And
rising.
rising, yeah. And the world's top economy in terms of economic dollars, where people would like to invest money, India in 2018 has come into the 5th position.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you look
great.
at the statistics, basically from last 8 years, US was number 1. Okay,
Correct.
China was number 2. Then Japan was number 3. Then Germany was number 4.
Correct.
Okay, so India was at the last in 2010, 11, 12, but in 2018 it has picked up and it has come down to number 5th position. So with this kind of statistics, you can actually easily calculate the kind of opportunities Indian market has, and why global investors or global companies are coming into India and starting investing altogether. So everything is fine, but then I think for startup uh, and for people who are starting a new company, so they can expand their business, they can grow. There are few challenges, but yeah, I think that's not a big challenge. You can always find out the solution for it.
Correct.
The one of the biggest challenge people think is funding,
Correct.
right? When startup is growing and is not able to expand, they think money is most important, then idea is important, everything is important, right? Teamwork is important, but I feel the most important thing is time.
Timing.
Yeah, his timing is all about timing. So
Okay.
if you look at any of the startup which was in 2-3 years or 4 years which has started, like you talk about Airbnb,
Correct.
who is the CEO is Brian Chesky, and if you talk about Uber, the
Right.
CEO is Travis.
Yeah.
So when they started those companies, it was actually timing. It was because of the high cost of rented apartment.
Correct.
Brian Chesky of Airbnb observed that why not to provide accommodation at a very lower rates,
Affordable.
and that, affordable, which can be afforded by people, and people are traveling across the globe. Okay,
Correct.
so people started following Airbnb, and that is how the Airbnb has grown.
Correct.
That is how Uber has grown, because of cheap fares and great way of commute altogether.
Yes.
Because looking at the kind of traffic in New York and US. Basically, it was a problem there to travel from one place to another.
Correct.
And Uber was the company which came at the right time.
Correct.
And that is how these two companies have grown. So basically, money can be figured out later on.
Okay.
Right, but timing is important, then idea is important, then teamwork is there. Money can be figured out. Like as Larry Page and Sergey Brin, when they started Google.
Correct.
So what they said, when they wanted to raise money for 5 years, there was no profit. Okay, they were working on the project and it was picking up, and they went to some investors, they spoke to some people, and somebody asked him, like, from 5 years you're operating, but there's no money flowing into your company. And he said, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Why? Because they were confident about the product they were developing.
Correct.
And now you can see you cannot live without Google.
Yeah, every
Right.
day is life. Google is in.
Yeah, Google is all in altogether, right? So that is how it is. So basically, if everything is done, the challenge is the funding. As I
Correct.
said, it can be figured out. So if you want to take off your company off the ground, there are various ways you can raise money.
Correct.
Okay, but you need to find out the source of the problem, where exactly the problem is.
Correct.
Once you find out the source of the problem, then there are various other options. So there are two ways of going about it. The first thing is, if you have a startup and if you're operating in the market for last 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, first of all you need to have patience.
Okay.
And as I said, timing.
Right.
Okay, if your product is good and if it's able to provide solution to the problem what customers are facing,
Correct.
actually they are going to invest and pump in the money into your company. But first of all, you have to solve the problem.
Right.
So why is it people are able to pay a lot of money to doctors in hospitals? Why? Because doctors provide solution, they provide medicine, and people are ready to pay even 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs as well,
Correct.
because they are giving you the remedies. So that is how you bring it everything to your startup. If you're providing a solution to the problem what customers are facing, find out, observe, explore, and implement and experiment all together, and check out what the problem is, give the solution, and everything is going to work out.
Correct.
Okay, people should start using your product.
Correct.
So first of all, when raising money, you need to ask two questions: why you want to raise money,
Okay.
and how much money you want to raise.
So correct.
Okay, when you decide on these two questions, the next part comes is, what is the plan if you don't have money,
Okay.
and second is, what is the plan if you have money
Correct.
when you're getting it from the investors.
Correct.
So looking at all these scenarios and going through these questions, there are 5 ways of doing that.
Okay.
The first option is accelerators. So accelerators are different kind of investors whom you can approach. They will contribute money in a very little amount, but actually what they provide is direction, mentorship, and guidance.
Which is vitally required.
Which is widely required, and it builds relationship in the longer run. The problem is they cannot pump in lot of money, but they can give you direction and mentorship, which is very a strong foundation when you're starting a startup.
True.
Right. Second one is family and friends, where most of the money comes up in a little amount, but the problem is that normally what we call bootstrap, where you don't have to give equity, or you do not have to give a stake or something like that, but they're happy to help you because they love your idea and they're very close to you.
Correct.
And 80% of the money comes from there, but in little amount. Okay. The third thing is crowdfunding. So in crowdfunding, what happens? There are small individual contributors who would like to invest in your company because of your great idea.
Okay.
Which they think it is going to definitely work out. And the best part of crowdfunding is that you do not have to give stake to this kind of people,
Correct.
because they believe in your idea and they want to invest in your company, and they feel somewhere down the line it will take off.
Correct.
Then the fourth one comes the angel investors. Now angel investors, they would like to invest, they will always try to find out what is the kind of scope the company has in the future. Okay, and the problem is it is just opposite of crowdfunding. Angel investors, they will always try to find out, they'll try to take out a stake from your company, so you need to give a percentage of stake to those angel investors. Problem is that they will try to get involved too much in your company, so you cannot, it is like, just like normal example, private and public company. Private company, you can take your decision by your own. There are not a lot of hierarchies there, and straight away whatever you think you can take a decision,
Immediately implemented.
Immediately implemented. So hierarchy is not followed. Angel investors, basically they'll try to, since they have pumped up the money, so definitely they'll get involved.
Correct.
Now the final comes the VCs.
Okay.
Now they are the biggest investors. They only invest money in big companies who has expertise, and basically they will raise those funds from foundations, insurance, and they will pump in the money into your company.
Correct.
Now the best part is that you can go for any of this five stuff, but my suggestion to all our viewers would be, initially for 2-3 years, I know you want to expand, you want to grow, you want to make an impact, you want to go global or whatever it is, but first of all try to have patience. Okay, wait for the right timing, only focus on your customers, try to figure out what the problem they are facing and try to resolve their problem, and money will come in. So this is how I think. See, the most important thing is you are looking for investors, so it is quite obvious investors are also looking for you, the next big thing, the next big
Yeah.
idea as well.
Correct.
Right, so there's always an opportunity scope, and with the India growing up in economy in terms of economic dollars, so there's a lot of opportunities. And as internet penetration is going in, a lot of millennials are going into the internet. India have become the second internet across the globe after US.
Correct.
And so I think these are some of the scope, opportunities and challenges, but challenges are like for time being it gets resolved. You should focus on your company, you should focus on your customers, try to figure out what the problem and resolve the solution, give the solution altogether.
Correct.
So I think if you like this video, you can like, share, subscribe and share with your family, friends or anybody who is in your circle who is into entrepreneurship, startup, and give us a feedback how was the video, and we'll be glad to come up with some new stuff which can really help out in your day-to-day life, or either personal or business or social media or coaching, mentoring, anything. And that's all.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Fantastic. Have a great day, Nilay.
Thanks a lot.